Greetings and bienvenue, midnight crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Be me. 23, full of piss and vinegar best friend invites me to visit his family with him way out in the sticks for a week or two. Nothing better to do, in between jobs, so agree. Introduces me to his family, all very friendly and chill. His grandpa seems intense, slow to speak but always sounds very considered and sure about what he's saying. Warns me about going too far from the house at night, being a city boy. Tell him I've been on hunting trips before, which I had, and I know my way around the woods. Not these woods. Goes on to start some story about inhuman things in the area, but the rest of the family quickly shut him up before he gets anywhere. One night the men are out for a drink at the local bar, me, friend, his dad, his uncle, his gramps. They make a point of telling me this building is probably older than my great-great-grandfather or whatever, like centuries old. Place is quiet. We're just shooting the shit and drinking when I see friend looking nervous about something. Follow his eyes and see a guy sitting in the corner, next to the door. Bulky dude with bright red hair. Before I can get a good look, Gramps grabs my arm. He's got a death grip on me. I look at him and he looks terrified. Look around and so does everyone else, all staring at their drinks or the table. Slowly realize there's no one else in the bar now, not even the bartender. For a quick second I think this is some local criminal or gang member with how they're acting, but that's definitely not how it feels. I try to look at the guy again but Gramps squeezes my arm even tighter, hurts like hell. Friend nudges me and hisses, "Don't look." The second he says this I can see the guy move out of the corner of my eye. His face turns towards our table and he stands up, walks towards us. I look around at everyone for some hint of what to do, but they're all just looking down. At this point I've had too many drinks to be fully aware of what's happening, so I look directly at the guy. He stops in the middle of the room and just looks back at me. Honestly just seems like a normal dude, tall, youngish, broad-shouldered, normal-looking face, bright red hair. We stare at each other for a few seconds when the city boy in me comes out. "The fuck are you looking at?" The guy doesn't respond, but Gramps finally lets go of my arm and stares at the table even harder. All of them are tense. I've been in lots of fights at this point and gotten in trouble for it, so I'm looking for any sort of sign of what to do here. Same rules for when I'm drinking with any group of guys. If they tell me to leave him alone, I will. They tell me it's time to go, I'll leave. They tell me it's time to square up, I'll do so. But they give me nothing, like they're trying to pretend it isn't happening. Eventually I get pissed off with this guy staring at me, stand up to my full size, 5'10", and the strong kind of fat, and walk towards him. Say some bullshit I can't remember, "We got a problem?" or something. I try to square up to the guy but I suddenly tap into the fucked up vibe the other guys are feeling. Suddenly realize this guy isn't the slightest bit normal, maybe not even human. His eyes don't seem weird in color or anything, but the way he's looking at me definitely isn't right. I'm suddenly terrified, scared as hell but I retreat back into how I was raised. Do not back down from anyone, my dad is a legit asshole. Tell the guy, thing, it's time to leave, or whatever but he doesn't move, just keeps staring at me. Feel like I'm about to piss myself. I raise my hand up to punch him, and suddenly he grabs my wrist with one hand. It fucking burns like he's got acid on his skin or something. It takes this long for me to realize I'm still holding my beer in my other hand. I smash it against this thing's head and just roar at him, more in pain than anger. He lets go of me and silently turns away, can't see what damage I've done, if any. Then he just walks away, walks out the door like nothing happened. I notice the barman coming out of the back room, then my friend and his family are all over me, grabbing my arms and shoulders, asking if I'm okay. Tell them I'm fine, just need another drink. But inside I'm fucking shaking, I have no idea what just happened. We go home and keep drinking, we stay up till the sunrise playing cards and telling stories, even the old man. I appreciated this because I definitely wasn't going to be sleeping that night, feel like that was maybe the point. No one brings up what happened, but for the rest of the visit it's like I'm everyone's best friend, get the feeling I did something right. My friend still won't talk to me about what happened that night, it doesn't matter now, and it's better you don't know. Could believe this was just some random bar fight, except to this day my wrist is numb where this thing grabbed it. Completely numb. I went to a doctor about it and he just poked me with a pen a few times, said maybe I'd had a mild stroke. Pretty sure I fucked with something I shouldn't have but came out on top through sheer luck. Everyone else knew to just ignore this fucking thing but didn't think to tell me before we went into town. Even now I'm scratching at my wrist, it's still completely numb a few inches below my right hand. No scars or anything, just numb to the touch. After I told her about it, my girlfriend has the habit of digging her nails into that spot as hard as she can, or biting the fleshy part on top, saying it feels satisfying for whatever weird female reason. But she doesn't believe the story at all, and agrees with the doctor.
2 years ago. Browsing/x/. Ask about how to possibly attract fae spirits. Anons tell me that the fae like nice gardens. They also like gifts of butter and milk. So I cultivate a little garden. Mainly flowers, but also some veggies. Keep it very neat, always leave out a little saucer either with butter or milk. Even thank the fairies with a little prayer every day. Sometimes I feel watched when I'm working in the garden. Could be my imagination, whatever. Then one night it begins to storm. Severe winds, I'm worried my garden will get destroyed. Wake up the next day. The wind from the storm knocked over trees and power lines. There are huge tree branches in the middle of the road. My backyard is a total fucking wreck. Debris, leaves, sticks everywhere. Except for the garden. Looks totally untouched and pristine. No debris in it whatsoever. I also grew the biggest cucumbers and peppers that I've ever grown in that garden. I stopped doing the milk and butter thing though because I started thinking it was fake and dumb. Should have kept up with it.
Anyone else have brief experiences? Like sort of meeting a strange person on the street and passing them by? 'Cause I've had a few. Told them here in the past before. First, one that comes to mind. On my laptop, laying in front of it covered in a blanket with a pillow on my chin. Just browsing to try and pass the time before I pass out. Suddenly smell a very clear scent of wood burning, not like the candles my family usually burns, like a breeze coming over a campfire clear. Worried something is on fire that shouldn't be, flop over my side and look into the darkness around me. A couch is in front of me, behind it is the staircase. See a big, clear shadow figure rush at Mach fuck down the stairs. Vanishes at the bottom with the wood burning smell. Stare in the darkness a while, roll back over on my stomach and go back to browsing. Second story that comes to mind. In the same room as the above story, again browsing in the same way as then. Get a feeling someone is looking at me. I am paranoid about people peeking over my shoulders, so I know this feeling. Feel it by the stairs. Figure it's one the cat or little shit dog, grab the crap wrist flashlight I have by me and shine it up at the stairs to ease my mind. Clear orange red eyes are staring at me, larger than either of the lil critters I was expecting, like human eyes with eye shine. In the edge of the light I can make out the outline of what looks like a girl laying on her stomach watching me. With that medium sort of bowl cut haircut girls used to get sometimes. Stare for a good 5 seconds, eyes locked with the thing. Turn the light off, roll over and ignore the feeling until it goes away. Third story that comes to mind. going to bathroom late at night. Closest bathroom is past a short hallway under those stairs. Flick lights on, close door, and catch myself in the door frame for no reason. Smiling, looking fine reflection. What the fuck is that? See what looks like a pale face and hand peeking and looking at me down the hall. Anus loosens in fear as the door closes behind me. In the moment I spot that damn thing. Stand there and decide to do my business, quickly scurrying back out of the hallway when I'm done. Tell myself it's the ducks my dad had mounted on the wall opposite of the hall, and I just saw it wrong. Look at them in the morning. They're too far away to be seen in the dark, nowhere near as white and pale as the thing I saw. Fuck. The way I saw it, the thing had to either crawl on the wall or hang by the railing to peek and turn its head into the hall like I saw. Don't look in the mirror for a few days after that, close the door as quick as I can. Fourth experience that comes to mind. Walking down the stairs one night, no lights on as I have good night vision due to being a night owl. Start to reach the halfway point of the stairs. Then, in the flash of a passing car's headlights driving past the house coming through the door's little window, I see a clear figure of shadow. A little girl in a dress, leaning on the railing. With that medium bowl haircut. Jump back up a step, recoiling. Shadow girl is gone. Heart starts beating again. Quickly walk the rest of the way down the stairs. Fifth story. At high school. Waiting from bro to pick me up. It's raining, I don't mind, bored as shit and away from everyone else as I'm an anti-social artist. Begin to wander between these portable classrooms, kind of like trailers. Why? My legs are getting restless and I have nothing else to do. Walk into the alleyway between trailer classes, just enjoying the rain. A very clear, feminine and British accented voice rings in my ear, like someone leaning in to talk to it. In a teasing tone it says, "I can see you there, you know." Glance around, see no girl. Nor anyone else. Closest person is around 20 or so feet out of the alleyway. Retreat from the alley as quick as my chubby legs can go. Had some weird dreams at that school too, while I napped through lunch. Sixth story. Now, to start this one off. I used to be scared of the dark. I was an imaginative kid, so I saw a lot of things in the dark that wasn't there. Bro shared a room with me, so I felt safe and hid under my covers if I saw anything. Just random monsters, kid stuff. Only saw one more than once. A sort of goblin thing, an old withered, almost mummified man, with scars and a huge-ass smile. Crawling on the walls like a spider, watching me. Scared the shit out of me. Forget it, assume it was just another nightly terror I dreamt up and leave it at that. Until me and my bro start talking about supernatural stuff one day. He tells me, when we were kids, he heard heavy, raspy breathing one night. I had asthma as a kid, so he got worried and looked over at me. And from this cork board above my bed, a goblin-like head emerged, withered and dried, covered in scars. Aged and with a big smile. Breathing heavily, it looked down at me as I slept. Bro, in all of his love for me, did exactly what I would do, and rolled over. I never told anyone about the crawling man, never thought about it for years. And bro just gave me a near exact description of the fuck. Shit bricks, and tell him, he's surprised about it too. I've also seen a UFO with most of my family one time, and my saw something in the woods me and my pops thinks was a Bigfoot. Things always go missing in my childhood home, and my bro and mother used to hear me and my younger sisters crying out for help while we were at school. Things have quieted down in recent years. Still don't like looking up at the stairs when I'm around that house at night though.
Got a ventriloquist dummy at an antique shop by the beach a few years back, his name is Lester. Nothing really happened for a while, but I got a few more dolls because I like collecting weird things. Just in case whenever I'm rearranging things on my shelf I tell them excuse me. Few months ago. Putting a plush on the shelf. See Lester's eyes move to look at me, then sharply looks back. Tell myself I'm seeing things. Told my friends about it. They never really liked him because he makes them feel uneasy. Nothing really happens for a while. Day before. Friends are sleeping over. Have one friend sleeping on my bed, but wake up to her sleeping on the floor. Ask why. She says she woke up and saw Lester's leg move/kick. Find it kind of weird, but whatever. Be now. My dog won't stop staring at him. What do? Pic related, I was too paranoid to look back and take a pic, so here's a Polaroid of him.
From a very early age I would very regularly stay at my grandparents' house while both of my parents were running a business at the time. So sometimes I would either spend all afternoon there or arrive in the evening, have my tea and then go to bed, ready to be picked up in the morning. I absolutely hated the latter. I hated staying over at their house. Now, the strange thing is, nothing happened. I never saw a ghost, never experienced any strange phenomena, heard, smelt, felt anything. However, whenever and only ever when I stayed there I would have this very vivid dream, so vivid that often I would find that I would wake, only to find I had been sleepwalking. The dream, in which I could paint you a picture of it still that clear in my memory, was of a ventriloquist's dummy. The dream. I would lay in my bed awake, and be overwhelmed by this urgent feeling of needing to drink an ice-cold glass of milk. Preferably from a bottle, one a milkman would deliver. In the dream I was scared because I was aware that the only way I could foreseeably get the bottle of milk was to visit the dummy in the fridge. I didn't like the dummy. He was decaying. I thought, however, the need for milk was so great that I had to grin and bear it. I would walk down the stairs, very frightened, through the dark living room, through the dining room into the kitchen. I slowly stared at the fridge, plucking up the courage to open it. When I did, there it was, the ventriloquist's dummy, decaying, surrounded by rotten food. I had to reach for the pure white ice bottle of milk without disturbing him. Sometimes it would be easy and sometimes he would wake. When he woke, he would look very angry and snap at me, laughing, "Oh, you've done it now." And with that, a massive blackout, and then the house was burned to the ground. I would then wake up, occasionally in the kitchen, holding an empty glass. After my granddad died, my nan moved to a different house, nearer to mine, and I had the dream one last time, and in this dream the dummy burnt away with the house. I have never had the dream again. I feel that alone. This was weird enough, however, it gets stranger. One night, I was sat with my mum watching a film and an advert came on with a ventriloquist's dummy in it. My mum said out of the blue,
"Oh, you've done it now."
I went cold, turned to her and said, "Why did you say that?" She said,
"Nothing, it's just that dummy reminded me of a dream I used to have when I was younger and he used to say that."
I couldn't believe my ears. So I decided to test it and said to her, "Did he live in the fridge?" She stared at me in disbelief and replied,
"Yes, he did."
And simultaneously we both said,
With his bottle of milk."
We talked for hours about the dream. It had turned out we both had had the same dream and never mentioned it to either of each other or anyone else for that matter. We were, as you can imagine, very freaked out and had a lot to talk about. As this was her childhood home, it seemed weird that we both had the dream whilst staying at that house. And neither of us have had it since.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more green texts will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.